What's good? What's good? This is Jaquan Grant, J1K, Mr. Rolling Stones himself, Mr. Underdog, and all that good stuff, CEO of RE Records. So today I want to talk about how crazy it is for you when you want to follow your dreams, but I'm talking about music edition. So, you know, you have to be you have to be ready for a lot of losses, man. You're gonna lose a lot, right? I'm pretty sure you've heard it. People tell you, you're gonna lose friends, you're gonna lose sleep, you're gonna lose money, you're gonna lose time. You're gonna lose so much in this industry, in this game. And I think a lot of people don't talk about those. We always see the glitz and glamour when they talk about the music industry or when they talk about the artists and stuff. You see the fame, you see the money, you see the status, the power, and all that stuff. But they don't talk about the hard times, the tough nights. You've heard people kind of just like wince at it and like, yeah, I struggled to get here, but they don't go in detail when they had it when they tell you like, oh, I was homeless for 5 or 6 years before I got to the place I want to be at, right? And they don't go in detail as far as how those nights were. So I really be wanting for people to know, like, this is not for the weak, right? This is not for the weak. This is not for somebody who's just that they're in it for fun. Like, they can put you in a very depressive state. And just with social media, it makes it a little bit harder. So of course, right? Of course, you have some elements of social media that allow for music to be easier, right? You have the ability now where you can reach everyone across the world. You have the ability now where you can just upload something easy from your phone. You can record in your own home right now. You can shoot videos in your own home, like everything. You could become a DIY artist, right? Which is what I kind of call myself, a DIY musician. But I also don't make it easier, right? So you still have to, especially if you don't have any funding or anybody backing you, you still have to possibly go get a 9 to 5 job, right? Or you still have to go, whatever you're doing on the side just to kind of fund this thing that can be very expensive. People don't tell you that, music videos can range on a like cheaper end, anywhere from $100 to like $300. And then when you start talking about on a major production end, you're looking at anywhere between 4,000, 6,000, and more, millions of dollars, right? Just for a video. And then they don't talk to you about how much mix it can be, right? So get my song mixed, right? They don't talk about how much mastering can be. They don't talk about how much the cover art can be. And I think the one gem that no one seems to speak about is the marketing budget. So the marketing budget is as important as it is to get the song mixed, right? Because if you spend all this money on getting your song mixed, shooting a video, but you don't get it to anybody, you're shooting yourself in the foot. But then the conversation comes in, all right, so what is marketing, right? Is it just I just pay someone for a Spotify playlist and I'm good, right? And I had a conversation with someone a few days ago telling them like marketing can be very complex. To me, this is my opinion, right? I feel like it really depends on what the product is, right? I'm not gonna market a song the same way I would market an album. Same way if I was selling, food, I won't market let's just use for example, if I had two businesses, right? I wouldn't market my shoe business the same way I would market my fast food business. Everything has to be done a little bit differently. So you have to really pay attention to, what the product is itself and the best way you can actually get that out there, right? And that's when you start getting into promotion, PR, all the other stuff. But there's so many different elements. And I've seen people do minimum marketing and still been able to blow, right? You have people now where like content is king. So you have people who are just creating content, and then they decide to run ads on it. But even then, it's like, I don't think we talk about how stressing that process can be. And that's something I'm dealing with myself personally, where it's just like, all right, cool. I'm in this race, or let me go ahead and rephrase this. I'm in a league of my own, where I run my own race, but it's like, I have to, if I'm going, say for instance, having a long day at work, come home, taking care of the kids, eat, shower, and all the other stuff. Now I have to go jump and go shoot content. And a lot of the time frames, man, I be burnt out, especially when, you get in some moments where, you're producing content on a high level, consistent, and, it's just not hitting or it's not, resonating with the audience. Now it's like, well, maybe you're targeting the wrong audience. Maybe you're creating the wrong content. Keep going back to the drawing board. But they don't talk about how burnt out that process can make you. And I feel like a lot of the time frames I do be in that space. Hell, I'm in that space right now because I'm supposed to be creating content today. And I'm just like, man, you have all these ideas and it can become overwhelming. So, you have to really be ready when I feel like nowadays when you're talking about becoming a musician and being in the industry, because that's just half of it, right? We also hear this stuff about contracts, people not really understanding the business portion of, becoming a musician. So, if I had to give someone any advice about, stepping into this world, I would definitely say, get ready for some tough nights, man, because it's very difficult. When I tell people a lot of the stuff that I had to do, right, whether it's like spending a certain amount of money, or losing out on certain relationships, people look at me and saying like, I can't. Why would you do that? Like, what? Because it's not a normal thing. I've always said, if you're a musician, you have a certain level of crazy with you, because to do what we do on a consistent basis, and to still, go throughout our lives, our day-to-day lives, and whether we have wives or husbands or, kids or jobs, and still have to do those things, and then jump right back into this crazy, rabbit hole, the music industry, and trying to, follow this path and, follow your dreams. It's crazy, right? Because it's like you're dealing with the stresses of the world, right? The day-to-day that you have to deal with on your own, and then you're dealing with the stresses of trying to, make it. And, it can become challenging, and it can become very, you can easily get depressed, right? So a lot of my depression does stem from my career, and it's something that I've dealt with, for a long time, and I'm still continuously dealing with it. So, I would tell that person, just be ready. It's not going to be an easy thing, and that's just like anything in life, right? When we start talking about our dreams, and these things are very difficult to come by. Yes, some people have handouts. I'm talking about the slow grind. The slow grind individuals who didn't have handouts, who didn't have, opportunities, resources. The slow grind is what, it makes you into the woman or man that you are, but it also it can leave you battered, right? It can leave you battered, it can leave you exhausted. Like I said, leave you in a depressive state. Like, it's something that is not for everyone. So, I would tell them, this is a hobby, cool. If you're just chilling with your friends, joking around, man, do you. But if you're like trying to take it serious, you're going to miss out on a lot. You're going to miss out on a lot. You're going to have a lot of sleepless nights. It's been a lot of nights that I've stayed up late, trying to figure out my next move. And that's the crazy thing too, when I talk about, that's just in business in general. You can have an idea, put your all into it, feel like this is going to be it, and then it doesn't. And then, what you have to do, go right back to the drawing board. You have to constantly keep just doing this, back and forth thing until, it happens for you. So, yeah, man, I always say, if you're a musician, you have some level of crazy to you. But if this is something that you want to do, if it's a passion like it is for me, of course you have the rewards, and people say the on the other side things can be beautiful, but more money, more problems, right? Money is not going to change anything. Status is not going to change anything. So you have to just, I feel like you have to kind of just, I'm not going to say prepare for the worst, but you have to just be honest with yourself, honest with the situation, which is why I'm at the stage I'm in now with my career, where it's just like, all right, I've been doing this for almost, I really say professionally, since I was 18. So you're talking about almost 11 years. And there's some amazing things I've accomplished. There's so much that I still want to do. I feel like I can do in this world. But you have nights, right? I have nights when it's just like, man, it's not working out, and I started reading books, meditating, trying to get advice. And a lot of the time it works, but a lot of the time it's like a 50-50, right? So like I said, I would try to tell that individual, just be ready for those, like I say, those sleepless nights, and just know that this is not no walk in the park. But like I said, if this is a passion, if it's something that you love to do, if you feel like you can't live without it, then you're gonna go through it, right? And that's where I feel like I'm currently at right now. So I wish you the best of luck in your journey, regardless of whatever dream you're chasing currently. Do not give up. Figure out, what's your happy place in your dream. Success isn't the same for everyone. Everyone don't want billions and millions of dollars. A lot of us just want freedom. So whatever that success is for you, I would say, hang on to that. And, and this is a hard thing, right? Because with this last part I'm about to tell you, try to remember why you fell in love with it in the beginning. Because I know for me, I get in that space a lot of the time frames when I'm like discouraged or whatever, and I have to kind of go back. When you was 13, what was the thing that kind of gave it to you, right? What was the thing that kind of just gave you, you really wanted to do music? What made you decide at 18 that this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life? What was that? And for me, it was just being able to rap. Like, I really, really just love rapping, right? When we take away the melodies, we take away the marketing, we take away the visuals, we take away the content, all that other stuff. I just love bars. Like, I love bars. So for me, that's the thing that I try to hold on to. And guess what? I'm not perfect. There's days when I don't want to think about that. But for the most part, that's what made me fall in love with music. So I would say for you to find that thing for you and to hold on to that when you're going through whatever you're going through, and to just don't give up. I wish you the best of luck in your journey. Praise to the Most High.